Thanks for joining us. This is Sarah with Ruffles and Rain Boots, and we're moving into the letter I of our elegant swash and flourish alphabet practice. If you're new to hand lettering, please pick up these practice sheets. They're going to really improve your game. And what you can see here is I'm lettering every single one of these real time, and I'm using the Tombow Fude pens, Fude no Suki, and I'm using the color set just because it's really fun and it makes practice a little happier. As you can see, those lines right above the letter I there, I'm using a brush tip pen, which means that every time you use one, it's going to act a little bit differently. So I like to practice just a little bit using a thin upstroke and a thicker downstroke. To get that downstroke, if you're new, you just press on the pen a little harder. Now you can see I lay my hand down to the side, 30-ish, 40-ish degree angle, but what you're doing is you're allowing the pen to do all of the work. You're going to get less fatigue this way, especially in your practice, because when you start out, you have a tendency to push down a little harder than you need to, so just keep that in mind. As you can see here, I'm showing you how we are creating both the uppercase letter I and the lowercase. And now here's where the real fun in this alphabet starts. I like to letter the letter first and then add the swash like I'm showing here. But that's not what you have to do. If you are sure of your spacing and you're leading or trailing one of your flourished letters, you can in fact do it exactly like this that I'm now showing, which is adding the flourish first and then the letter. Personally, I like to make sure I get all of my spacing correct, so I do put down the letter first. We're using the copy and create for all of our practice sheets because they test the best in actually learning and getting your finger and hand into muscle memory. So this first line, you can see a light faint gray, and that is what you're copying. The next line on every single one of these letters that you're practicing, every single sheet, including all of the extras, you have a line to practice. We also include a full blank practice sheet in these size specifically, I should say, for the small pen practice. All lettering practice is not the same. So here you can see now we're creating our own. I'm showing you both ways to do it, the I first or the flourish first. It just depends on your particular preference and what you're doing. As with everything in hand lettering, practice is going to equal progress. It's never going to be perfect. If you want perfection, you may want to stick to digital apps such as Procreate, when you can use these sheets in Procreate as well, because we do include the JPEG version. And all you do is load that into Procreate and use those brushes. They help smooth your lettering and you can undo things, but I really prefer to practice with lettering with a pen and a piece of paper because again, you're only going to get better if you're doing the work. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar with my style, this is the flourish I like to use most. It's a very simple flourish. It adds a wonderful leader and a wonderful trail to each of your letters. It works for absolutely anything. And this alphabet I designed is pretty innocuous. It's not extreme flourishes that you do on art pieces. If you aren't steady with your hand and you're not doing classic calligraphy, these alphabet swashes are going to be your best friend just because they're really easy to do, especially for beginners, and because you still can have a lot of variety. If you have any questions about this alphabet or about the practice sheets, just leave a link in the comment section below and I'll help you out wherever I can. And if you're ready, it's time to move on to the letter J. Just click that link up there and we'll get started. If you're not ready, redo your sheets. And hey, thanks for joining us. Please like and subscribe to Ruffles and Rain Boots for more hand lettering.